Hi guys, welcome back to your weekly supplement for your Just Beginners guitar class. Last week we talked about the scale and how to play some of those simple rhythms for the blues. And this week we're going to talk about some blues chords and some of those songs that are going to come out of the major scale. One of the things that you should be thinking about now that you can play through the scale, is really trying to recognize what notes that you're playing. And a good way to do this, and it'll help you warm up, just to keep everything slow, you should start reciting the note names as you play them. So to go through and you start with C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. This is actually pretty easy when you think about it, because the letters that we're using are just 7 in the first 7 of the alphabet. We start on C. Why we start on C, I don't know. It's one of those mysteries. Anyway, so C, D, E, F, G. Start over again at A, B, C. Now, one of the things that our education system doesn't teach us is to be a little bit more flexible with the information that we're given. So one of the things that I want you to try is to say the note names coming back down the scale. C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. You'll find that you really have to think about saying the note names. It's, most people find it's not as obvious or automatic as they'd like it to be and as they expect it. So it really helps you to pinpoint which note is where. And so that when you're doing this, you're building an image library, if you will, of what it looks like to play each and every note. So when you get to B, it's that third finger on the 7th fret, first string, and so on through the other notes. And I find 3, 4, 5 times every day that you practice, will really help to solidify this. And in the end, it's really going to help. And here's why. When you look at the music, and in this week we had Merrily We Roll Along. Part of the process that you have to do is going through and looking at the note and knowing what it is. Okay? I would suggest reading through the note names, just before you play it. And work on that identification process, just to read through and say E, D, C, D, E, 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 D, 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 E, G, G. Just to put that in your short-term memory, so that you look at the note and you say, oh, okay, I know what that is. Okay, because what happens when you play is that your brain has to put all of that together. First, the identification with the notes, but then what does it take to play that note? What does the right hand do? What does the left hand do? And to keep the beat and put all of these things together. So if you can take it little by little and make the note recognition on the page sort of automatic, because you've already been through it once in that particular sequence, as well as knowing, okay, I know where this note is when I'm playing it on the instrument. Okay, so I think you'll find that helps. One of the other things that we have this week is the tie. Okay, now the tie is that curved line that connects two notes, two of the same note. All right, and what it is it's just a way of extending the duration of the note past the bar line, or sometimes even within a piece of music. Okay, if we're in 4/4 time, then we only have 4 beats per measure. But if you have a note that you want to last longer than there are beats left in the measure, we have to designate that somehow. And so with the tie, we put the curved line on one end and then connect it to another note, and it could be any duration. And the first note is hit, the second note isn't. So let me play you my own favorite composition, Tie My Shoes. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So hopefully that gives you an idea of how that should go, as well as just hearing that tie. I don't hit the second one that the tie is connected to. It's only the first one. Okay, and sometimes you might even find a tie within a measure. Sometimes people do that. But anyway, that's the tie. The next part, our first chords, okay? Well, technically last time was the first time that we did chords. We played two or more notes together simultaneously with that shuffle rhythm, okay? But another popular blues progression that we're gonna have, we'll use chords. You'll find someone who's learned to play it that way, and hey, if you can play along with them, it's gonna be a whole lot of fun. So the 12-bar blues, what I'm using, an A7, just with fingers 2 and 3, and then we move to D7. Also uses 2 and 3, but we add the first finger here, okay? And then it goes back to A7, and then to E7, jumping up to D7 again, to A7, and with a slight hop back to E7. Okay. What I like about these 3 chords is that we're using similar configurations with the fingers. The 2 and 3 stay relatively the same when we move to the D7. So this should be one movement of 2 and 3, moving to strings 1 and 3 from strings 2 and 4, and adding the first finger down there. Okay. And then when you move back, it's making that same motion. And so you might even practice just going back and forth between those 2 chords until you get used to it. When we go from A7 to E7, we're going to jump down, and it should be that second finger that moves and leads from that 4th string down to the 5th string, and you add the first finger. When you have to jump all the way up to D7, you could use that first finger as a guide because it's only hopping 1 string, and then put the other 2 in place, and then back to A7. But my suggestion would be, to practice the chords first, and you do this in a 3-step process. Okay, the first step is to just know the chords and be able to switch from them without looking at the page. Memorize that chord configuration and the fingers that are used in it, and then just go through the sequence. The next would be to take a metronome, and let me grab mine. Happens to be on my phone here. Okay, turn the ringer back on. And what I like to do, what I suggest to students, is to put your metronome on 40, and this is the second step, and you're going to play on the first click, switch on the second click so that you can play on the third click. Okay, so you have one to play on, and then another one to switch, and then you play again. So it'll go like this: 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the trick is to just, you can even jump, once you play the chord, you've played it. The next part is the assembly of just getting the fingers there. So just move as soon as you need to get it there so that you can be there on the click, because that's playing musically. You need to change the chord at that time. And then you can just speed it up from there. Move it up 10 points, move it up 20 points, until you get to 80, and bring it back down to 40 and play on every beat. Okay, and that'll be step 2. For step 3, what you're going to do is you're going to play the song, okay? And just get used to playing it. And if you're playing along, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and you switch, and you don't get there, figure it out in the time that you have left to play the chord before you jump back, okay? This is kind of a real-world application. It's a real-world sort of situation that you're going to be playing with this other person, and they're not going to want to stop for you. that takes all the fun out of playing music. You got to keep that steady beat going. It's the heartbeat after all, and if you keep it going, there's a lot of life there. If you stop it, it just stops the train, you know? And anytime that you have to stop the train abruptly, you know, it's never much fun, especially if you're riding in the train or you happen to be in front of the train. You know, you just don't want to be there, okay? So, that's playing chords. So I hope you were able to find this video helpful and it helped you along your way this week. Until next time, I'll see you in class.